Everyone's playing the AI boom the same way, through the chip. But here's the thing. A chip by itself is deaf. To build an AI supercomputer, you have to connect tens of thousands of those chips. Then they have to keep talking, non-stop, moving oceans of data every second. At that speed, across any real distance, copper wire stops working. So the data travels as light instead. And the device that converts the chip's electrical signal into light, then back again at the other end, is called an optical transceiver. Every connection between those chips has one on each side. One large AI cluster needs millions of them. It's the layer nobody puts on the poster. And it just became one of the biggest bottlenecks in the entire build-out. Here's why. The industry just moved to a faster transceiver called 800G. And it's already moving again to 1.6T. Faster is much harder to build. Demand didn't cool either. The largest transceiver maker in the world, Innolight, just told investors that demand for 800G hasn't shrunk. It's grown significantly compared to what they expected only months ago. And now it's not just the giant clouds buying. A wave of newer names, the new rent-a-GPU clouds, and other fast-growing AI players are placing orders at the same time. More buyers. Faster parts. The same short supply. And it isn't just one missing component. Innolight says the shortage runs across the entire module. The optical chips. The electrical chips. Even the circuit boards. The tightest piece of all is still the specialized laser that actually creates the light. And that doesn't ease until well into 2027. When the biggest maker in the world tells you the entire supply chain is short, that's not a rumor. That's the supplier telling you the shelf is empty. So who do you buy? The well-known names are the big optics giants. But there's a smaller American company built for exactly this moment. Applied Optoelectronics, ticker AAOI. Two things set it apart. First, it's one of the few transceiver makers that builds its own lasers in-house. That's the exact part everyone else is short of. If the scarce ingredient is the laser, the company making its own isn't waiting in the same line as everyone else. Second, it builds in America. And that matters more than usual right now. Washington is actively cutting Chinese hardware out of anything sensitive. Most of the world's transceivers are made in China. A domestic American supplier suddenly looks like a strategic asset, not just another vendor. Now look at what it's doing with its money. Right in the middle of this shortage, AAOI is pouring concrete into new American capacity. It just broke ground on nearly 400,000 square feet of manufacturing. It's being built specifically to produce 800G and 1.6T transceivers, the exact parts that are in short supply. And the local city is backing the project. Separately, the state of Texas gave the company a grant of almost $21 million toward another new plant. Companies don't build two factories at the same time for a market they think is fading. They build like this when the orders are already lining up. Then the only question is how quickly they can make the product. Now let's talk about the other side because it matters. Two things. First, this groundbreaking is the start of a plan the company had already announced. It's the shovel finally hitting the dirt, not a brand new surprise. Second, AAOI is a smaller, faster-moving stock than the giants. And it reports earnings soon. That means one number can send it sharply in either direction. This is the more aggressive way to own the shortage. Not the safest one. Size it accordingly. Now step back. Look at the bigger picture. The AI world is moving from individual chips to entire buildings full of chips that only work if they can communicate at the speed of light. That makes the transceiver the scarce link the whole cluster depends on. The largest maker in the world says demand is rising and supply stays tight into next year. And here's one American company that makes its own lasers, builds on American soil, and is adding 400,000 square feet of new capacity right into the middle of that shortage. That's the case for AAOI, not the chip everyone talks about. The part that lets all those chips become one machine. So the final question is a simple one. How should you own it? Already trading on Ondo and X stocks. Through a broker, you trade market hours only. On-chain stocks trade 24/7, 365, straight from your wallet. We prefer on-chain for one reason above all. Your profits stay yours, untaxed, not financial advice. Do your own work on the price you pay.